I'm Hamid, and I'm the CEO of BlancRide, which is a social ride-sharing platform. I think a lot was said, like great things, and I don't want to repeat them. So let me actually start with various approaches that one could take, and innovative company could take towards sharing economy. With the sharing economy, there have been two very different approaches. There is this kick the door and let the city respond aggressive kind of approach. And then there is this let's see how we can fit approach, the kind of collaborative kind of approach. I'm not here to say where either one is right or wrong, because they both have their own merits and they have created opportunities for progress, both economically and socially. But at least I can share our story in terms of how we approached it. So when we wanted to build a platform, this BlancRide, the social ride-sharing platform, we first started actually working at the regulation, like Public Vehicle Act, Insurance Act, Highway Traffic Act. Then we met with the city officials, taxi licensing people, and then we looked at the specific things that regulation, the restrictions that we have, and the guidance that it has. For example, in the transportation, we noticed that in 2008 there was regulation passed by McGuinty government actually for ride sharing. So they specifically had three requirements. Number one was that the ride sharing should happen on your way to home or school or place of convenience. And I assume the rationale was that the ride sharing is happening to home or school or place of convenience. It means that you're actually leveraging your empty seats, and possibly you take one vehicle off the road, so that helps the economy and help the traffic. The second one was that the driver should not be actually taking any money that generates profit, but could be reimbursed for the cost of the trip. And again, the regulation purpose was probably not to compete and not to make it the engine of profit making, but make it an engine of cost sharing. And with the third one was actually it should be limited to 2 trips per day. Now, again, it's debatable where this regulation were the best or not, but there was a rationale beyond each of them. We're making limited to 2. They wanted to make sure people who share a ride, they're not making a business out of it. So what we did, we actually built a platform exactly based on this regulation. So we made it so that we ask people, where's your home, where's your work, where is the typical route you're going, so that you share a ride on your way to home or work, and actually you're picking up another person on your way and you take your vehicle off the road. We made it so that we put a cap on how much a driver could make, so that they don't make a profit, but they split the cost, and we limited to 2 rides per day. Now again, it's not about whether it's actually the best regulation or not, it's up for a debate. But there are various approaches, like should we actually be trying to fit in, or should we actually change the laws? And laws have never been optimal. The question is like how we should approach it, how we should change it gradually, or how we should adapt it to current situation. I think, however, there is also a significant misconception about the use of the term sharing economy. So are companies like Uber really part of this sharing picture, or are they something entirely different and useful, but things that we have to learn how to respond to, right? And where is the line drawn for the parameters of the shared economy? Is it that personal goods or services are used and sold to generate profit, or is it when the slack resources are shared and the cost is being split? Again, these are different approaches, and it's very helpful to define those parameters so that we are all on the same page. As well, I want to say that there is a lot of positive and negatives about Uber, but maybe Uber has made us, and then nowadays Uber is a synonym to the sharing economy, but maybe actually Uber has made us scared of the sharing economy to some misconceptions. For example, our platform, BlancRide, it's a totally peer-to-peer social ride-sharing platform. We empower people by connecting them to one another and allowing them to actually share a ride together. In doing so, they actually don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Your time is won't be wasted traffic, it will be invested in your friendship. It's going to be a story, it is a story of sharing and caring at the same time, lowering your commute costs, and also helping the environment on your daily commute without doing anything extra. So again, different sharing economy companies have different stories, and sometimes with a lot of buzzwords, some of those subtleties will be lost in the media buzz. But anyways, we are here tonight to discuss the idea of a response to this unfamiliar thing that is the shared economy. Should it be regulated? And if so, how and why? Obviously, as we mentioned already, the sharing economy is not really new. It's been going on for a long time. But with advancement of technology, now we're seeing it as like an unprecedented scale, right? And the technology has allowed for massive facilitation and massive scales of sharing. But then it brings the city together and get people to engage each other on a new and exciting level. So then the question would be like, why should we even regulate something so exciting and so special? Is it because of safety? Is it less safe? Or is it safer? Is it because there are a lot of misconceptions, for example, about the safety in sharing economy? Is it because it might take away from local businesses? And when you look at companies like Airbnb, you feel like they actually create a lot of economic activities in the surrounding, and actually they allow sharing culture and bring more tourism. So it's debatable whether actually they take away from local business or actually they're helping them. Or is it that they're taking away from employment opportunities? Or actually they create new employment opportunities? Again, there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to these key questions. I think these three key questions has fed to a lot of debate, and looks like the debate is going to continue. And then why the rush to regulate? Like Leon mentioned, we need a lot of data and evidence, and then rushing to regulate without actually knowing what is that we're regulating could have some drawbacks. So there is definite need to adapt, and that should be understood. We need to progress in order to reflect the new economies and participate as well. Obviously, we need to foster innovation and enable guide in a positive manner. For example, insurance companies could leverage this opportunity to build new things that protect consumers and make them profitable and create new jobs. And lawmakers, likewise, need to understand that this new economy poses no greater threat than all past economies that preceded them. And they too can use this opportunity to actually for new innovation and creativity in their lawmaking efforts. So the kind of regulation that I think need to be written, if any at all, is the kind that is adaptive and scalable and not hindering. It promotes and gently guides instead of trying to repress and hinder development of something on its course. And then the governments need to learn not to panic and react, but take the time to educate and respond. Technology is going to move at an incredible rate, and we're not going to be able to stop it. So the regulators need to learn to how anticipate progress rather than reacting to them when they're happening. So all in all, in my perspective, yes, some measures need to be taken in place to guide this new economy, but just as there were measures in place to guide previous economies. But then the guidelines and regulations that we want to build need to reflect the life that we have today, and as well as the life that we're going to have in the future, rather than actually becoming backward looking.